Hello and welcome back to the Looking Stylish YouTube channel. Today's video is all about investments in your wardrobe. Somebody asked me recently about how to decide where you should spend money in your wardrobe and what things are particularly good for investments. So I thought I'd do a video about some of the things that I invest in and the reasons why. And hopefully that'll help you to make some wise decisions with your hard-earned money. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, it's no secret that I absolutely love accessories. They are something that I do spend money on. There are some that I spend more money on than others, and so I thought I'd show you some of the things that I've invested in and give you the reasons behind them. So I'm going to start with jewellery. I do love costume jewellery, things like this necklace. I love earrings. I've really got into earrings recently, and those are things which I don't particularly spend too much money on. I think I've mentioned before that I absolutely love the jewellery that Marks and Spencer's has. They do some great pieces at really good prices. The other place to look is Accessorize, and you can get lots of fashion pieces that if you spent sort of £15 or something on it, you're not going to worry too much if you don't wear it year after year. So the things that I would invest in are more special pieces for jewellery. Now, I don't have a lot of fine jewellery. I tend to wear the same rings all the time, my wedding and engagement ring, my eternity ring, and a ring that my husband bought me for our 20th wedding anniversary. Those stay on all the time and I don't change them. One thing that I did invest in, and this was probably coming up for 30 years ago, it was when I received my first really good bonus pay packet, and I bought myself, I'll take it off so you can see it better, my Cartier watch. They don't actually do this design anymore, but it was something that I did think long and hard about. I wanted to buy a nice watch. I wanted something that would be classic, that would last me for years and years. And as I say, this one is nearly 30 years old, so it's done really well. I have lost one of the tiny little screws out of the face of it, so I do need to get that sorted out. And it can be quite expensive to get the battery changed in it. It doesn't happen too often, probably every 5 years or so, maybe even longer than that. But because it's waterproof, they have to reseal it properly. So you do need to get it done either by Cartier or by a Cartier dealer. So it is an ongoing investment, but to be honest, I haven't spent a lot of money on it. As I say, the battery's probably once every 5 years. I've had it serviced once in the time that I've had it, and it probably does need a good clean now as well. But yeah, I think that was a really good investment for me. I love it because it's not too big, it's not too small. You can wear it during the day, you can wear it during the evening. And this is something that I would say about your investment pieces. Don't save them for best. I know there's always a worry about ruining something and not being able to wear it again, but really, if you spent a lot of money on something, it's far better to get that cost per wear out of it. So, you know, things like, I can remember when I was, again, in my 20s, I had a really good job at the time and I was being paid quite well. And I went up to Edinburgh, and I walked into a shop and I saw a coat laying across the table in the middle of the shop. And I asked how much it was. It was £750. You may have heard me tell this story before. And as I say, this was, again, coming up for 30 years ago. So that was a lot of money at that time. It was by the Italian designer Jenny. And I stood and I looked at it and I looked at it. And I got persuaded to try it on, and needless to say, I ended up buying the coat. There were a few jokes about the coat because it was kind of a shawl-collared dressing gown style, but without a belt. It had no fastening at the front, and I can remember at the time somebody saying to me, "You spent £750 on a coat and it doesn't even do up." Now, it was a very simple style. It was kind of classic, elegant Italian, and it had an animal print lining to it. and turn back cuffs, but you could see the animal print on it as well. That coat made me feel $1 million. I still have it in my wardrobe. It probably is still wearable. And you know, I wore it to death. So that's £750 over, I mean, I probably haven't worn it for about 5 years or so, but over 25 years that I've had it, you know, it's negative now. The cost per wear on that was fantastic. So please do wear the things that you buy and that you invest in. Now, a couple of other bits of jewellery that I wanted to talk about are my two favourite kind of medium range brands. So they're not inexpensive like Marks and Spencer's, they're not expensive like Cartier, but I like to buy pieces of jewellery from Links of London and from Monica Vinita. And there's a couple of pieces. In fact, my ring, nice story about this ring. When we had been married for 20 years, it was also the 20th anniversary of Links of London, and they released this ring. I don't know whether you can see it there. It's the middle section of it turns, and it's just got tiny little diamonds in it. And because it was their 20th anniversary ring and our 20th anniversary, my husband bought it for me. He does have some good points to him, and buying jewellery is one of them, because the next few pieces are all pieces that he has bought for me as well. So first of all, Links of London, they do some really nice sort of timeless pieces that you can wear year after year. On my 50th birthday, my daughters bought me this necklace, which is part of what was called the Hope collection, and it's got tiny little white topaz stones in it. And I also got the matching earrings. Now, I'm in very good company with these, because these were in the paper quite recently because Kate Middleton had worn them to an event, and they have actually sold out now. But this is something which, or this little set is something that I wear perhaps on special occasions. I do tend to like bigger jewellery, but something delicate like this, if I'm wearing, you know, a really nice dress or something for a special occasion, then these pieces do mean a lot to me. And then also from Links of London, again from good old hubby, was this friendship bracelet, which I really like. It's in the rose gold, and it's got one of these little things on it where you can tighten and loosen it, so it will fit most people. They do it in silver as well. I think they do it in gold as opposed to the rose gold, but those kind of things I really like too. And then moving on to Monica Vinita, the first thing that I was bought was this little set. Now, I haven't got this on the chain because I've got something else on the chain, so I don't know if I can show you, but it's a little pendant. And I can't remember the name of the range that this is called, but I will link it for you. They do it in other colours as well, and I just like the fact that the green stone, I love green, also that it was slightly, you know, it's kind of a misshapen, it's not perfectly shaped, and I had the matching earrings to that as well. And then a few years later, I also was given the bangles. So they do continue these pieces on. So they're really nice to collect as a set. And then this Christmas, the reason that that one wasn't on the chain is because I've swapped over onto the chain this tiny little, I will put in a closer picture for you in case this doesn't show up, but it's a tiny little M, and that's got teeny tiny little diamonds in it as well. So I kind of swap either that one or the green one depending on which I want to wear. And I've been wearing this one quite a lot, almost as an everyday piece as well. And then finally, this one is from Matches. I think, well, again, I will put the name of the brand, but I absolutely love these bangles. They do them in different sizes and different stones, and I thought that one went really well with the Monica Vinita pieces as well. So those are the kind of jewellery pieces which I will invest in. So moving on to other accessories, the next big one is obviously handbags. Now, I haven't spent £1,000 on a handbag. I haven't ever bought one of the really it handbags. Again, my husband did buy me a Mulberry Bayswater on my 50th birthday, which I absolutely love. It's in a dark brown. It's the kind of bag that the older it gets, the better it looks. You know, they look really good once they've got beaten up a little bit. But talking about Mulberry, I do love the Mulberry handbags. I do think they are beautiful quality. They used to be quite expensive for what they are, but I think now compared to other designer handbags, the prices aren't as bad. They do have some bags that are under £500. I know that's an awful lot of money for a handbag, and it's probably something that you do have to think about quite carefully. But I did do that with this one, which you've seen quite a lot, my Lily bag. I bought this probably 3 years ago. The price on it has gone up now. I think when I bought it, it was £7.95, which is the most I have ever spent on a handbag, and probably is the most I would spend on a handbag. But this one, I kind of fell in love with it. It was a special occasion for me. I decided I was going to treat myself to it, and I did think about it very carefully. I did think very carefully about what colour to go for, because obviously spending that amount of money, you need to make sure that you are going to use the bag a lot. And again, as I said, I don't keep it for best. I do use it. I do wear it sometimes in the evening, but mostly during the day. I bought the larger size because I thought it would be more useful to me. It's a very simple style. But I love that it's got the chain handle, and this you can wear either long over the shoulder or cross body, or you can double it up like that and hold it down, or have that shorter over your shoulder. So that one, as I said, I did think quite carefully about it. I did think about the colour. When you're looking at colours to buy for investment pieces, either choose something that is a neutral, or choose a colour that you really love, that you know you're going to wear a lot. Now, I know I wear red a lot, or I know that I wear things that red will go with, like navy, black, chocolate brown. So I knew that I would get a lot of use out of that handbag in red. The other handbag, which I've got a couple that I have invested in, again, this one is red because I knew I would use it a lot. This is a Marc Jacobs tote bag. I bought this, I think, 2 years ago before I went to Dallas. I wanted to use it as my hand luggage. I now pretty much use this every weekend. If I'm going out shopping, I will take this bag with me with my purse in it. I'll put in there my shopping bags for food shopping. You know, I don't have to take other bags with me where you go to a shop and they don't give you a bag. I can put it in here. So again, this one has had so much use. And an alternative to that one, which I use in exactly the same way, is this Aspinall tote bag in the black croc. And this one, again, very simple inside. It's just got a little detachable purse in there, which I will perhaps put my keys in sometimes when I'm out, so that I don't have to rummage at the bottom of the bag for them. So again, in the winter time, this is one that I use an awful lot, or the red one. I have been using this one in the summer as well, because as you probably know, my spring capsule wardrobe has quite a lot of black in it. So that one has worked really well too. And as far as brands that I really like, I've mentioned Mulberry. Aspinall is another one. Again, their handbags are beautiful quality. They aren't ridiculously expensive. They're kind of Mulberry or even slightly less. They're not the sort of Gucci, Chanel type prices. Now, if you do want to invest in one of those much higher priced handbags, what I probably would say is think about how long the style of that handbag is going to last, because a lot of the Gucci handbags, for example, they'll have one in 1 year and then the design will change next year. Now, just to make sure that it doesn't bother you that you're going to be wearing the, you know, old version of the handbag, if you like. Another one which I do quite like the styles of is Chloe, and their handbags again are around about the £1,000 mark, but if you have a look at the C by Chloe handbags, they come right down, they're under 500. And the other brand that I have bought handbags from is Diane von Furstenberg, and again, hers aren't ridiculous, they're under 500. I think my little gold one cost me something like 185, and I've got a black and white one which cost me, again, round about the same price. So you can buy designers that aren't ridiculously expensive. And the other thing that you can do is buy a pre-loved version. There are different places where you can do this. I mean, obviously you can have a look on eBay. I will also put a link to Liz's Facebook page in here, because I know she's got a couple of Mulberry handbags. I know she had an Anya Hindmarch handbag. So she does get some of the designer bags as well, which obviously you can buy at a much reduced price because they are secondhand. The other place to look is a brand called Vestiaire. I will link that as well. They do lots, not just handbags, they do lots of designer accessory pieces. I think they even have Cartier watches on there. And they are very careful about vetting them and making sure that they are authentic, that you're not paying for something that isn't real. So there's a couple of other options for you if you don't want to go and splash out on one brand new. You can get some really nice handbags and shoes, pieces of jewellery, second-hand as well. So moving on to shoes. Now, I think with shoes, it really depends on how heavy you are on your shoes, because if you wear shoes quite heavily and, you know, they tend to get scruffy quickly, then I wouldn't recommend spending a lot of money on a pair of shoes. I have made some investments on shoes. I've had some that I have been really pleased with. I've had a couple that, you know, perhaps I haven't been so pleased with. I had a pair of Nicholas Kirkwood loafers, which I absolutely loved. I will try and slot in a picture for you so you can see what they look like. He does do them every year. Now those I wrecked because I did wear them a lot and I wore them quite heavily. They were very soft leather, and so they went out of shape quite quickly. And I think, again, they're around the £300 mark, so it's a lot of money for a pair of shoes that you're not going to get a lot of wear out. Ones which I have invested in, which I have got a lot of wear out, are my Jimmy Choo court shoes. These are called the Billy, and they come in different heel heights, and I really liked this heel height because it's comfortable. It's a slightly block heel, so I knew I would be able to walk in it. Obviously you can walk in grass on it. These are shoes which I tend to only wear on smarter occasions because I don't have the need really for a pair of court shoes for anything else. I don't wear them on a day-to-day basis. So these were really worth the investment, plus the fact that I did actually get them in the sale. I think they cost me around £200 in the sale. And I have worn them quite a lot. I mean, you can see some wear on the bottom of them. The toes are still absolutely fine, the heels are still fine, and I have to say I'm not very good with heels anymore, but these are probably the most comfortable pair of heels I have ever worn. They, I mean, I wore them, when I first bought them, I literally wore them the next day, all day, and they were brilliant. So I would recommend those. Really pleased with them, really nice quality, and I think definitely worth the money. Another pair which I absolutely love, but I did make a little bit of a mistake with these. I fell in love with them, decided that I wanted to buy them, and they didn't have them in a size 7, so I bought them in the 6.5. They are a little bit tight on me and they have taken some wearing in. They are suede, so obviously they're not going to wear as well as a pair of matte leather or patent leather shoes would do. So I haven't worn them as much as I perhaps would other shoes, because obviously you can't wear them out in the rain. But I do love them. When I wear them, somebody always asks about them. Again, I think quality wise they are beautiful. I do always make sure that I keep my shoes generally with something in the toe. I do keep them in the box, wrapped up as they came. If I take them away with me, so like when I go on holiday or when I'm traveling, I always put them in the dust bags and I pack them out, just to make sure that they keep their shape. And again, you know, I have worn these with jeans, so I'm not frightened to wear them every day. If they get ruined, I think, you know, I've loved them, I've worn them, I've got my money's worth out of them. So yeah, those I really do like. The brand is called Malone Soulier. They don't have this colour in stock at the moment, but they do them in lots of other colours. They also do them as a backless shoe as well, and they also do them with a heel. So I'll link some of those for you as well. So those are a couple of pairs of shoes that I have invested in. Otherwise, I have bought quite a few pairs of LK Bennett. I love LK Bennett shoes. I do think they are good quality. I do think the prices have got a little bit too high now. I think that's possibly what part of the problem with LK Bennett has been, that their prices have shot up. A lot of their shoes are £200 and more now, but the sales are on. I should mention that about everything, because the sales are on. You definitely can get some good bargains at the moment. I'm going to do a sale roundup at the end of this week as well, with some things to look out for that I'll link to this video as well. The final piece on accessories that I wanted to mention was scarves. I love scarves, I wear them a lot. I tend to wear a lot of the Capsule accessory scarves, which aren't expensive. They're £29, most of them. I have got a couple of investment scarves. I've mentioned this one before. This again, I don't know how old this is. This must be 25 years old. Maybe more. This one is an Armani scarf. It's silk. I loved the colours of it. I loved that sort of muted combination of reds and browns. Again, I have worn this one to death. I think when I bought it, it was over £100, which then was a lot of money for a scarf. But because the colours are right, there's lots of ways you can tie it. To me, the investment was worth the money. And then a second one, which you have seen before as well. This one, again, my husband, he's a good guy, bought this one for me. This is a Liberty scarf. I tend to wear this more in the winter because of the colour combinations of it. It's silk again, it's lovely big scarf, it's beautiful, beautiful quality. And again, you know, I think if you're going to buy an investment scarf, pick something that you know you can wear in different ways, something that is in colours that you really love, that goes with other bits in your wardrobe. It could be that you pick one that's in a pop of colour that you wear with neutrals, or you pick one that's got those sort of neutrals that you can wear with other colours. So yeah, I think a beautiful silk scarf for me is a good investment because I do wear scarves so often. The last things that I wanted to mention were some clothing pieces. I don't buy really high-end designer clothing. A lot of the designers, unfortunately, still only design in tiny sizes. There are a few that I have favourites of that I can buy in sizes to fit me. So I wanted to mention a couple of those and the reasons why I've bought them. Now, the first designer who I absolutely love is Diane von Furstenberg. Especially, I love her silk tops. A silk top is something which for me is really a wardrobe essential, because if I'm going out in the evening or going out during the day, I will often wear a pair of trousers with a nice silk top. This one I bought in the sale a couple of years ago. I again have worn this so many times, not so much this year so far, but I think I probably will get it out and wear it again now. It goes with jeans, it goes with white trousers, it goes with navy trousers. I've got a lot of options with it. I'd also wear it with my lovely LK Bennett culottes that I bought for my daughter's graduation last year. So that one is one which I did invest in. In fact, I bought it in the sale. So again, I think it either had 30% or possibly even 50% off. Matches and Net-a-Porter sales are both on at the moment. They both do Diane von Furstenberg, so I will definitely put some of those pieces in the blog post that I'm going to do. The other one, which you know I buy a lot, is Eileen Fisher. I wouldn't call Eileen Fisher a designer, but her prices are quite high. I do accept that, and I do have quite a few pieces of hers now. And the thing that I do tend to buy, as I say, a lot of will be tops. So when you find a top that suits you, that's the right shape, and you know that you're going to get a lot of wear out of it. I think that's the thing with clothing pieces. With accessories, you can wear them so much more than you can individual clothing pieces, unless it is something like this, which is, you know, one of my wardrobe staples. I talked about it last week, so I won't talk a lot about it now, but that kind of thing. And then because I know that that shape really suits me, I then also bought the same shape at the top, but in the longer length, in the red and in the chocolate brown. Now, to spend something like probably £250 on something like this. Now, that didn't cost me that because I bought them in the US, where obviously you can get them a lot cheaper, just because of the exchange rate. So I have invested in these. They are expensive, but again, going back to that cost per wear, the cream one, you know, I've worn hundreds of times. The red one I have also worn hundreds of times. I take it with me every time I go on holiday. I take it with me when I go on a trip. I wear it out in the evening when I'm at home. It's really been worth every penny. You know, if I think that I've worn this perhaps 10 times so far this summer, and you know, you multiply out how much it's actually cost you to wear each time, that for me is better value than going somewhere like Hobbs maybe and buying a top that's £100 that I wear once over the summertime and perhaps once in the winter time. You know, the original investment is far more, but for me it's worth it because I know I'm going to get so much more wear out of that. Another one which I bought a couple of years ago, in fact I bought this the second year that I went to Dallas, so this is 2 years old now, is this one. It's see-through, but you do wear a little camisole underneath it, and it's got these fantastic sleeves on it. The frill here, it's got a drawstring in the waist, so it gives it a really nice shape. This is quite a typical style for, this is actually the diffusion line of Chloe. It's not the expensive Chloe, it's C by Chloe. This one I think cost me about £150, something like that. But again, it's something which I know, colour-wise, the navy blue, it goes with everything. I can put it on with a simple pair of trousers and just immediately be dressed up. Add a little piece of jewellery, you know, perhaps put those shoes with it, and I've got a fantastic outfit. So for me, investing in kind of special tops is something which I think is really worthwhile. And also, if you think about it, if you go to an event or you're going out for dinner, quite often you'll be sitting, so it's this part of you that people see. So for me, it's far more worthwhile to invest in the top than it is, say, in the trousers or the skirt, unless you are going to be standing a lot or moving around a lot. And then one final thing that I wanted to mention, which was also from Eileen Fisher, was my silk jersey dress. Again, I bought this in the sale. I think I bought it in Phoenix in Bond Street. I think probably 5 years ago now. In the sale, I think it was about £150 and it was half price because it is silk. Now her dresses are very expensive, but again, that dress, when I bought it at the same time as this little kind of mesh overtop that goes over it. I've worn it alone, I've worn it with the overtop. The two pieces I probably spent about £300 on that day. They were both in the sale, so they were both reduced. But again, this dress, I think I wore it for my 50th birthday, and I think I wore it the next 3 birthdays as well. And it has also been on holiday with me every time. It just recently came to Antigua with me. I will slot in a picture of me wearing it, but you will have seen it. So again, that for me was a real investment. The other thing that I love about this dress is it doesn't really matter what's happened to my weight, because it's one of those kind of tank dress shapes. My weight can go up and down and it doesn't matter, I can still wear the dress and I still feel good in it. So again, something like that, if you're going out for a very special occasion, you know, quite often you will go and buy yourself a dress. And I think if you're only going to wear it for that one occasion, it's probably not worth doing it, unless perhaps you're going to sell it on afterwards, or unless you hire a dress, or unless perhaps you buy something that is a second-hand one that somebody else has only worn once. Unless it's something like this, which again is a shape and a style and a colour that you know that you can keep in your wardrobe for years. You know that you'll be happy to put it on again. You don't really care that people have seen it in you before because you love it so much. So that for me is another investment piece. So I hope that was useful for you. Just how I look at investment pieces, how I think about what I'm going to spend my money on. You know, I wouldn't go out and buy myself a designer t-shirt with a slogan on it. To me, that just isn't worth the money, because it might be a trend this summer, and so I might wear it 2 or 3 times this summer, but I might never wear it again. And if I spent, you know, £120 on a t-shirt and I've worn it 3 times, you know, it's £40 a wear. It's not worth it. Whereas something like that, which, you know, I might have spent £150 on it, I might have worn it, you know, 20 times, possibly even, well, a lot more than that, because as I say, it's 5 years old. But yeah, so, you know, it's getting to the point where perhaps this is costing me £10 a wear, and that will continue to go down over the years. So if you're thinking about investing in something, if you'd like any advice, then please do leave me a question or a comment, or send me an email. And if there's anything else you want to ask about investment pieces, or you think that you'd like another video or a blog post about them, then please do let me know. I will link anything that is still available and some alternatives. As I said, I will do a blog post about what's in the sales at the moment that I think it's worth investing in, or that I would invest in. And as I said, I hope that's been useful for you. Quite a long one today, quite a lot of talking, but thanks very much for watching. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, then I would love it if you did. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.